we go. All right, welcome to our Tuesday night live call. I'm Jennifer Stamper. I am just flying solo tonight. Max is at a church event, so it's just me, and I'm excited to be here. And we've got Terri. Terri is joining us tonight, and she has been in the company. I think Terri started around the same time I did, or maybe a little before or after, but around that time. And I've been able to watch Terri just ask questions, eager, always on the calls, always just coachable, willing to listen. And her story encourages me. And I just wanted her to share because I feel like we all need that encouragement, because some of us didn't start off with coming into this company with a lot of experience in direct sales or a built-in networking community. So a lot of us, like Terri, kind of started from scratch. So she's been an inspiration to me, and I would just love for her to share her testimony tonight. So Terri, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you share.
Well, thank you for those sweet words. But yeah, I started about October 22. So not quite 2 years. And Shannon approached me I went to see one of the things up there at the Impact Center for the political thing. And she's like, I've got something I want to talk to you about your health. And I'm like, absolutely. Because first of all, I'm a breast cancer survivor, 7 years now. About 10, 11 years ago, I had my right lung collapse 3 times, spontaneous pneumothorax. Nothing ever happened, no accident. So that happened. And then my mother passed away from frontal temporal dementia 3 years ago this past week. And it is not like dementia. It is something totally 100 times more horrific. So when she said, I have something for your health, I'm like, sure. I mean, why not? It is not going to hurt, and it's only going to help. So I started wearing the patch, and try to get my daughter, and we have a special needs son too. He just turned 19. He's doing fantastic, and he doesn't even have a diagnosis. He's a one of a kind. We've been to Johns Hopkins when he was little, and his file was worked up like this, and we've seen every ologist, some of them two different, every one, and he's just one of a kind. And so I thought, why not patch him? So I just wore them at first, and I had worked, once I had our daughter, who's almost 21, I was able to become a stay-home mom. So I feel very blessed and fortunate to be able to do that. I worked in advertising back in my career, but I did dabble in Arbonne for a little while. And I can't say, I don't know if I bought into the $2,500, all of that, and I probably sold a little bit, but then that kind of, and what I didn't like about that is they were all about the business. They never talked about the product at all, which was really weird. It was just the business. So I really can't say I have network marketing experience. But I do like to talk and run my mouth, and I feel like I'm kind of an influencer at times, because I do like to research and find things, and you find something you like, what do? You just share it. So I kind of told Shannon that I would take the holidays off and not try to, starting in October, I didn't want to come in. And I think I had my first sale in February, sale, I guess, share sale. And I'm a big tennis player. So I saw the little things it did for me. And I can't say I wasn't a one patch wonder, and I didn't have, and that's kind of been my issue, is I don't have a big wow, like that did this, or especially at the time. It just did little things for me, I noticed. And but I was still a believer, and I'm all about, I mean, I know you can't feel your stem cells getting reactivated. And a little vanity. Nobody, want to stay young. And for me, I'm like, I don't have to see or feel it. I just believe it. And time will tell. So anyway, I just kind of started sharing with my tennis friends, and I have a best friend that lives in Florida, and she had knee surgery. I sent her some. She put one on her knee and immediately got pain relief. The swelling went down. She called me crying. She's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm all in. Um, so I know it works. And then from there, I just kind of started sharing it. 3 here, 3 there, 3 here, just like the pro strat. Back then it was a 3-3-1 before. It's kind of changed a little bit. And that's what I did. I went through, I've got sheets of lists of people that one by one, I would just, hey, I got something you need to try. You hear a lot of no's, you hear a lot of not now. I have the health store that I signed up and she was one of the first ones I went to. Nope, 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 nope. Finally, in May, they signed up. Keenan at Clark Salon finally tried some and is using them. Jill Craven finally is on them. So, it takes some time. Some people right away interested, want to see results, want to get results, and then some just take time. So it's just a matter of, and I'm fortunate. I don't have to, we're blessed for me to be a stay-at-home mom, but I do kind of want my own money. So I'm like, all right, let me get, and I do want to help people. And I love that it's a Christian company, and I just pray for God to bring me godly people to build my business. And I've signed up probably 40 people. And a lot of them have fallen off. What happens sometimes is people get backed up and then they forget to wear them and then they stop their auto ship. But I'd say the majority of them I did put on auto ship. But my issue now is needing business builders. I've had friends that have worn them for a while. They've seen results. Now they're doing the business. But just recently, I changed my whole think and thought process and thought maybe, I think it was a convention. I'm going to go after entrepreneurs, bigwigs. So that's what I started doing. And that is helping a lot. It's just changing my focus from not, I want all my friends on them because I love them all and I want them to be healthy. They all play tennis, they may have aches and pains, so I'm talking to them. But a lot of them don't need to work and don't really care about that. So I just kind of changed my mindset to like, all right, who do I know that's an entrepreneur? Who do I know that has a business mind? I got my doctor and his wife on them. Um, I've got a man that owns a huge company. He just sold it, but he's still the face of it. He's starting to wear them now. So I'm just kind of, like you said, coachable, teachable. Tell me what to do. I'll do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've been along with you with this whole journey, and I would just watch you call after call. What do I how just you would just be very honest and open and sharing your frustration, sharing I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I think what's been most encouraging about your journey is that you just kept asking questions, doing what you were getting information and going out and doing it. And the shift I've really watched these last several months of you just, like you said, you just taking it now to this level of like, wow, I'm really looking for other builders to come along and that have that mindset that, hey, this is an opportunity to really build and create generational wealth. So would you, because I feel like we're similar. I didn't come in with a ton of experience or a built-in network and kind of starting from ground zero and working with those around. What would you have any advice, like now that you're bringing people in and you've learned what you've learned almost the last, not even really 2 years, because like you said, you didn't really even get cracking with it because it was right around the holidays. What do you have a piece of advice that maybe you would give to somebody just now starting out of the gate with no experience, kind of coming in cold here? What would you?
Yeah, the main thing I would say, because one of my friends that's doing it, she's like, I'm just not a salesperson. I'm like, stop. N- But this is not selling. Even though we say sales, it's not selling, it's sharing. You have a favorite restaurant, a favorite book. What are you going to do? You're going to tell your friend, you've got to read this book. This is my favorite book. You're going to love it. It's the same thing. Get out of that mindset that you're selling, that you've got to. And another friend, she was talking to another one. She's like, so you're calling all your friends? Like you're she thinks that we're like bugging our friends. And I'm like, no, we're sharing something that we want them to be healthy. We want them to know about this.
Right.
Every single person needs to know about these. And it's
Mhm.
not selling. You're just sharing something that's going to help them. It can help them financially. It can help them physically, one, the other, or both. Why not? The worst they can say is they're not interested. They don't know. And usually they just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Again, I've sold people that said no in the beginning that I like, we all use kind of, it's not no, it's just no now. But
Yeah.
I would just get out of the mindset of being a salesperson. Think of it as something that, your favorite restaurant, your favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then and one thing, even myself, I have to think about, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. The more you reach out to, the more you're going to get. If you're only calling one or two, reaching out to one or two goes like this. The
Mm-hmm.
more you call, the more you reach, and then you get more comfortable with it. Then I've stopped people in the parking lot. I've stopped people walking down the sidewalk. And what are they going to say? No. Well, it's already a no. It's
Yeah.
already a no before you walk up. So
Yeah.
why not? Could be a yes.
Yeah. So just to hear you talk, so do you feel like for just to hear you talk now versus I remember our calls and hearing all of us kind of scrambling. So was there like one in particular thing that just shifted that? You mentioned even coming off this last Believe conference, once again, another shift. So how much of your belief system is important when it comes to doing direct sales, would you say?
100%. You have to believe it. What was odd though is on my first convention I went to with y'all when I met you in person was the one in Tampa
Hmm.
last year.
Hmm.
And I was gung ho. I'm like recorded everything. I mean, I wore my phone out. And I don't think I had
Uh-oh.
before. It was just weird,
Hmm.
really weird. And I kind of got down. But then again, I wasn't doing this like, daily. It's the time you want to devote to it. You can do it part-time, you can do it full-time, you can do it 3 hours, 4 hours, 1 hours. It just depends. But then I went to Orlando, the global, and that was a game changer.
Okay.
That's when I was like, all right, they can do it, I can do it. And
Mhm.
I love what it does. I love what it does for me. I love what it represents. I love what David Schmidt, what he represents. I mean, he is an amazing human being. And so I decided I want to make this work, but it's what you put into it,
Mhm.
really. I mean, like I said, it's a numbers game. And I just decided that I got to get my numbers up and hope for my biggest fault, though, I will say is I worked in advertising in my career. So I had to call all the time, call everybody. Not a fan of the phone. And I think I need to probably change it. I'm a texter because I don't want people calling me. I
Mhm.
would rather you text me than call me. So I know that Steve is all about calling. So what are your thoughts on that? I'm just not
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was Tony, he's on the call. He sent Max and I, if y'all haven't watched it, it's an interview with Steve and Gina Merritt. I forget the guy's name. You could put it in the chat, Tony, if you can. It's Eric something. He's the big guy. He's in direct sales. If anybody knows it, feel free to unmute and shout him out. But Steve even talks about Eric War. Am I saying his name correct? He's even not David Schmidt.
Eric
Uh,
Warray.
there it is. Thank you. Um,
Mhm.
what did Steve Merritt? I mean, he doesn't he still sweats to this day. This man is a multimillionaire, still sweats, but the only thing he says is the only time I would text was, hey, let me know when I can get on the phone with you. So yeah, that's still, I know that's challenging for my husband. I can kind of be on the phone all day. I'm okay with that. There are things that make me sweat, like some of these calls, this Zoom chat by myself, running through the slides. I'm getting better at it, but there are things that I'm still learning. So I think we all have some sort of things that we have to overcome in what we've got our hands on. But Terri, I think what's one thing that you mentioned was that you just signed up somebody that you've been working on since you started. One of your first prospects just now you know, almost 2 years into it. So I think there's something to say about circling back and revisiting, because,
Absolutely.
and I can attest for most people that I have signed up, it was not the first, second, third, it was multiple. Just don't give up on people, you know? And a lot of times they're just looking at you. They're watching you. They're looking at your posts. Marty, I know if you could unmute for just a minute and share, because I think Marty's very active on social, and you mentioned somebody had been watching for a while and finally has just come.
Yeah, so I've had a few people watch me do my crazy stuff on social. And one friend of mine, I've known her since I'm 4 years old. And she's in New York and she's been watching. So yeah, so after a year and a half, she decided she was going to try the patches. And she's now, not only is she using them, but she got her coworker to use them. So he's just starting to. But it's happened quite a few times where, like you said, Terry, it's not no, it's more like not yet. But in the moment, you feel like it's a no, you know. But I've learned over this year and a half that people, you know, and with good reason, there are people that are skeptical out there. I was skeptical. My mom was skeptical. Nina was skeptical. My friend who's here, Lanka, was skeptical, you know. But I now know what I have in my hands. And it's not about me begging people. Like I used to try to convince people. Now it's like, I know what I have. I've seen it. I've been around for a year and a half now. I see what's happening long term. It's a game changer. And so my approach to people is a little different too. I have a little more confidence in what I have because now I've got a year and a half under my belt.
And I think that's right. I think people see that there's something, it's not something I start and stop, start and stop. It's been almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 years is a long time
Yes.
to keep wearing this, keep doing it, keep investing in it, and knowing that it's working. But it got rid of I said in the beginning I didn't have anything. Now I do. I have degenerative disc disease, and I used to have to, I 3 years ago, I did every non-surgical procedure you could do, some twice. None of it worked. I live with the pain. I just had to live with the pain. And I put the patch on it, didn't work. Put the patch on it, didn't work. Got a little better. And then one day I just realized I was bending, putting my straight over. I can bend over and put my hands on the ground. Zero pain.
Wow.
So, it took a while to get there, but it got there. And I
Yeah.
have other testimonies too that it works. But like I said, just being in this line, I think people see, okay, well, she's still wearing them, she's still doing it. Maybe it's something we can look into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, thank you. And it's true. So those that are getting started, you know, no just means no for now. And people are gonna just kind of hang and watch you for a minute. So,
One thing I will also add too, I don't know if I said, don't be afraid to ask anyone. Like I think y'all know, I was getting my mammogram.
mhm.
My first diamond I sold was from the girl that worked the desk. It was her mother. And, because I was standing there going, should I say anything? Should I say anything to the tech that was doing my mammogram? I'm like, what? Why would I not? Why would I not? Said something to her, walked out. The girl, when I checked in, she was doing like, oh, this hurts, something's hurting. I'm like, oh. Then she was sitting at the desk when I walked out, and I'm like, hey, by the way, you were talking about this hurting. Gave her some samples with the little card, and she's like, oh yeah. She goes, oh, my mom would really love this. Walked in, invited her mom to a Zoom, signed her diamond up.
There you go.
Don't be afraid to talk to everybody.
That's awesome. Thank you. And that's just encouraging because, you know, I think sometimes people come into it and they're like, I don't know who else to call, or I've called my friends, nobody's interested. So, these are people you're just meeting as life goes. So, you know, I believe God, the favor of God's on this company, from David Schmidt to all of us. So people are out there, people are seeking and looking, and we've got the solution. So Terry, I appreciate you sharing because you've been such an
Absolutely.
encouragement to me because I've watched you come into this and just blossom. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so awesome. So I know we've got a couple testimonies. Yes. Did Lanka, did you want to share your testimony? I know you've been on the patches for about 3 weeks. I'd love to hear how that's working for you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I actually went through my text messages earlier to see when it was that I started. I met Marty and Nino personally on August 11. I started that night. I put on the silent night because one of the things that I was telling Marty and Nino was that I wasn't having, a good night's sleep. So that was one of the things bothering me, because when you don't sleep well, the next day is just not good for you. So I patch that night. I patch with the Silent Night and the X39. And I'm here with my husband in the background. I'm sorry. So I patched that night with the X39 and the Silent Night. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I slept like a baby. I went to sleep. I did not struggle actually falling asleep, which was my main problem. I would toss and turn, toss and turn, toss and turn, just to try to get finally go to sleep. It would sometimes still take me hours. And I was taking medication, because I take medication. Well, I have diabetes, I have nerve pain, I have restless leg, I can go on with the things that I have. So I slept like a baby. I woke up, and the first thing when I opened my eyes, I said, oh, I feel refreshed, which one of the things was I wake up like a million trucks run over me at night. Like that's like I ran 20 marathons. I don't even know. So I felt refreshed, and I was like, okay, could have been, the Silent Night. I didn't know which one because I used both.
It
So
was the dinner
it
from
was,
last night.
yeah, from Marty and
From
Nino,
Marty
yeah.
and Nino.
So I went ahead and I spoke to Marty. She called me, and I spoke to her, and she told me, well, why don't you, because I explained to her, I didn't know which one it was. So she was like, well, use the X39 in the morning during the day, and then use the Silent Night at night. So that's what I did. And I continued having, good night sleeps. To this day, I am able to go to sleep without struggles. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I go back to bed and I fall asleep. It wasn't like that before. Sometimes it would be like, okay, I wake up and I'd be like, oh my God, I just woke up again in the middle of the night. And then I'm like, how am I going to go to sleep? But, again. And right now I just go like, okay, I woke up, go back to sleep, and I don't have that worry anymore. And I patch every night. I wear the X39. I was just telling Marty yesterday when we met again that I switched from the 39 to the 49 because I wanted to try it out, in the sense that I have also a lot of pain in my legs, and I think it's because of my veins. And then one of the things, like, for example, today, I was noticing that the pain that I have on that leg is not there. I don't have that pain anymore. The nerve pain that I have, I'm not going to tell you that I don't have it. I do. Sometimes I do have it. But is it as bad as it was before? I don't think. There's days that I'm good. There's days that I'm not good. I do believe that this is doing something for me, in the sense of my sleep pattern has completely changed. I'm able to go to sleep with no problem. I'm like, this thing works. The Silent Night works because I am able to go to sleep. And it was honestly because of my husband. He's been really worried about me, my health, and all that stuff. And he got again in contact with Marty, how happened, and he told me, well, why don't you try it? Because I take so many medications. And here is I invited my brother-in-law, Manny Fernandez, because he has heard the countless, issues
can
that I
vouch.
have.
can vouch.
So he knows
I have
I'm
a third
not,
party.
I'm not lying. He knows that what I've been going through, I had nerve ablation done, and the recovery is worse than the pain. I believe that 100%. So I went to meet Marty and Nino. They welcomed me and my daughter to their house. They talked about the product. I saw Nino. I believe what my husband told me, that he met him before, how he was doing before and how he's doing now, because I'm a very skeptical person and I needed to know, that I needed to see it to believe it. If I don't, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, but so I saw Nana, Marty's mom, and I was like, I mean, this lady has more stamina than I do. This lady is amazing. And I know my brother-in-law also, he struggles with back pain, this and that. The other day we were talking, he was telling me, oh my God, I have vertigo. And I'm like, oh my God, man, are you okay? So, I know that it might not be like from night to day, like you're gonna feel so much better. But from August 12th to today, I can tell you that I have noticed certain things in my life.
Yeah.
But with all the medication that I take, they weren't happening, especially my sleep pattern. They were not happening. My doctor was he told me, okay, now don't take one, take 1.5 to help you sleep. And I was like, okay, so I'm adding more, It did not help me go to sleep faster or easier. Then he told me, okay, well, take this medication for the muscle pain. I'm like, I've been taking it for, quite a few months. It doesn't. Do I have a little bit more energy during the day? I can tell you I do, especially at night. I do. But my big game changer was my sleep pattern. My God was that, and what I was telling you yesterday, Marty, the fogginess in the brain. Oh my God, it was bad, ladies and gentlemen here. It was bad. I would walk into a room and I'll be like, what am I here to do? And my husband can tell you, it was every bad word in the book. I would start like complaining and saying, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, beep, beep, beep. And then I was like, why? The worst thing when I started noticing was when I forgot my phone number, and I'm like, my phone number, I just forgot it. I'm an office tipo, and I don't know what my phone number is. And I'm like, 954, I would have conversations with people, and I'd be like, trying to find the word, because I couldn't remember the word. My husband, I was having conversations with him, couldn't find the words. Like, I was like, I would tell my daughter, what is that? What is that? Like, I'm like, ah. So brain fogginess, I'm going to tell you, it was like the sleep. The next day, I'm like, oh my God, I'm remembering things better. What is going on? Honestly, I was like, this works. Like Marty told me, it will target probably what you need most in your life at that moment from your body. And I think my body said, when I put the patch on, said, they two talked and said, okay, so what does she need the most? Brain fogginess and the sleepiness and the sleep pattern, I'm sorry. And to me, I mean, that was it. I'm still patching to this day. I'm not going to stop patching. I'm patching my daughter now because she has a cold. We don't know if it's allergies. We don't know what it is. So I patch her. I'm telling her, put the X39, put the X39, So yeah, that is my testimony. I mean, those big things in my life, those big things in my life changed and got better. And I'm patching, and I'm going to continue patching until, I can.
That's awesome. And you're only like 3.5 weeks in. So we're looking forward to having you come back in the next couple months, because you're just getting started. So how exciting.
And you know what? It's coming up like my 6 months. It's passed for my nerve ablation on this side, the right side. And my doctor told me it could last from 1 year to, I mean, from 6 months to a year. So I've gone past the 6 months, and I was telling my daughter the other day, you know what, it's coming back. I was feeling the pain already radiating to my arm, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm probably gonna have to do this all over again, the ablation, which I don't want to, because like I said before, the recovery is worse than the actual pain. So I'm patching, and I'm
Patch
hoping,
away.
yes, and I'm hoping that it won't come back, or it won't come back as bad as it was before. And I'm telling you, I had the symptoms, the feelings, I had them that day. Ever since that day, I'm not having them again. So here
That's
I
so
am
great.
being hopeful.
That's right. And you're just getting started. So we're
Yes.
excited. Thank you for coming on very last minute to
No worries.
share. And we love this community because it's good news. And there's a lot of bad news out there, but we get to come on these calls and share the good news of this product and what it's helping just our families and our health and our finances. So this is a shorter call tonight. But before we wrap up the call, for those, we just want to make an announcement. Let me share the screen real quick. The company for this week is offering, let's see, I had it pulled up somewhere. Well, let's see if this will work. This isn't quite the one I wanted, but let's see. Oh, here we go. So, I got this on Carl's Facebook page. So this week, through I guess starting yesterday and ending the end of this pay period, you can, any upgrades, you can see the slide, any enrolling new or upgrades, the company's offering you some bonuses. So enrollment kit bonuses, signing up a gold, you get an extra $100. Signing up a diamond, an extra $300. So in addition to whatever you would make, if you are in that 90-day period, you're going to make $500 for your diamond, but then an additional $300 if you're diamond. So that's $800. So this is just for the week. So I want everybody to be aware so we can, go out there and just be thinking of this. And then if you upgrade, anybody, if you from a starter to a gold is 100, from a bronze to a gold is 85, a silver to a gold is 50, and then it continues on. A starter to a diamond is 300, bronze to a diamond 285, silver to diamond 250, gold to diamond 200, and platinum to diamond 150. So this is for the brand partners that, if you've got people in your downline, that this might be a good time to upgrade and have that conversation because it'll benefit you as a brand partner. So just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that. If you go to This Is It Facebook page, this is also on there, and it's also on our Abundance LifeWave page, Carl's page, that we have. So I just wanted to kind of remind everybody about that. I'm just trying to think if there's any questions before we wrap up tonight's call. I appreciate you guys. Oh, tonight at 9, we're going to do the doctor's panel is going to be on our YouTube channel. So if you didn't go to the convention, this is a great panel. It's just all the professional doctors that are using these patches in their practice. And just they're sharing just the testimonials. I know our own Dr. Fitch, who's on this team, that's under Marty's leg. He's on that panel, so it was really exciting. Some of us got to meet him down in Orlando a couple months ago. So anyway, that's a really good one, especially for friends or family that are kind of looking at this right now. Let the experts do the talking. So that's tonight at 9. I might be able to drop a link in the description, or whoever invited you, maybe we can make sure you get a link to that. Anybody have any questions?
I do, Jennifer. Do you guys have heard any testimonies for rheumatoid arthritis patients that have used this? Yes, Marty? Yeah. Can you share those with me? I would like to see, for my mother-in-law.
Yes, I will. I have a woman, she's now my friend, that I met at the convention. She had, well, we have to say it because it's being recorded, that we do not make any medical claims, This patch does not heal, treat, or cure anything. It's your body that goes into a reboot by wearing it. But this woman had rheumatoid arthritis and what's the other thing? Lupus.
Mm-hmm.
And she had been using the patch, I believe, for 7 months. Went back to the doctor, got blood work, and all her markers gone. Praise the
Wow.
Lord. So, and I know her personally, and she's helped friends of mine since then. But I'll get her testimony to you. She says it in English and in Spanish, so you tell me which one you need. But there's so many stories out there. Yeah, I'll help you. Can I just say one quick thing?
Please.
So you know how people have talked about doing patching parties or inviting people to Zoom, and all these things are amazing. But what I found very interesting was having a little group of people together and sharing not only a moment of Jesus, right? But also having different people in the room that have been patching for different times, like Lanka, just 3 weeks, then me for a year and a half, and my mom for a year and a half, and Nino for a year and a half. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it was so nice to, and another friend that's been patching since last April. And just hearing all the stories and how this patch has changed people's lives, I just feel like it's such a blessing. This business is great, but the greatest part of it is hearing the testimonies and hearing the lives changed, because there's nothing greater than knowing that you can share a lot, right? You can share it. Like Jen and I always say, it's more than the patch. It's more than the patch. It's a ministry. We get to share, talk about God, you know, and how he's the one that's activating the patches, really. I mean, he's the one that downloads the information to David Schmidt, who's the inventor and scientist. But there's nothing like hearing Lanka. I sat with her. I heard her story before she patched. And now to hear 3 weeks later, what a change. What if she had said no, right? What if I had said no? So that's it. I just wanted to say what a blessing this is. Thank you.
It is. Yeah, and that's why we do these Tuesday night calls. This is more of an intimate call and just for the team. I would like to say that there is Lisa's gonna chat. There's a Thursday night call. So if you're coming on for the first time tonight, you're kind of hearing about this, want to know more, please tune into our Thursday night call at 7:30. That's Carl and Kathy. That's our direct senior presidential directors. They do an amazing job of presenting the slides. It's a great call to get any prospects, anybody interested, or you're hopping on a little later and want to hear more. That is the call to come in and just hear all about the technology and the opportunity. Because like I said, we're in the perfect storm right now. In post-COVID world, people need the health, people need the wealth. So we've got the solution. So anyway, that's Thursday night at 7:30, and I know we'll make sure you get links to that. Lisa, what you got?
Yeah, I wanted to share. I have Evelyn here, online, and she's normally in church on Tuesdays. And she had a wonderful testimony. She's been using it. It's been less than a month. And Evelyn, I don't know if you have a moment to speak about.
She's muted.
You're on mute.
She's on mute.
She's on mute,
Yeah,
but
she's
she
on mute.
had an experience where I had sent her
Hold on. Yeah,
the
at the bottom left of your screen. See, I think she's trying to unmute. Maybe
oh
see if you hit the little microphone, it has a red X, it looks red with a line through it. If you hit it again, it should unmute. Still muted.
So Jen, since this is your call, if you click on the three, like if you hover over her screen and see the blue screen with the 3 blue dots, can you click on it and unmute her?
I can ask her to unmute, but I can't really control whether she's muted or not.
Got it.
But that's okay. Well, Evelyn, if you could figure it out, that'd be great. But I know Lisa shared a little bit, so perhaps Lisa, you want to
Yes,
go
yes.
and share? Okay.
I join with Marty on when you hear these testimonies, in short, less than a month, you're hearing that how not even in a few days from people that I've shared this product with. And she had an experience where she has a bone spur for over a year and she couldn't wear sneakers. And I think she's trying to, they need to unmute me. She says, she's telling me that, do you have a way to unmute her? She's trying to unmute, but it doesn't.
I'm gonna share my screen real quick and talk her through it. Hopefully she can see. Oh, so it says the host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh,
Jennifer, can you enable participant screen sharing or not?
Well, well, well. I might need I'm not sure how to do that at the moment.
Okay.
So,
But so Evelyn, if you're on your phone, hold up one finger. If you're on a computer, hold up two fingers.
she's on her phone.
Okay, so you're on your phone. So if you're on your phone and you click on your phone, you should see a microphone down in the corner with like a red, a red X over it. And if you click on that microphone, does the red X go away? It doesn't go away. Okay.
Hmm.
Maybe next time.
um,
Maybe next time you get together with Lisa or a young person,
That's the truth.
can help you out. Sorry about that, Evelyn.
yeah, sorry, but she has next time she'll say her testimony with the bone spur is gone. And the main thing is in less than 3 weeks, she can wear her sneakers again.
Wow.
Am I saying it right, Evelyn? If you cannot. She's up in Connecticut, and this is one of my best friends here from Connecticut. We know each other since like I was 15. So to hear how this has helped her with her sleeping and pain, and it is just so, it's like what Marty was saying. It just makes it all worth it, So I'm sorry I couldn't hear you, Evelyn. But I wanted to share that because Lanka was asking about the rheumatoid arthritis and if it can make a shrink a bone spur in 3 weeks. Yeah, it doesn't work like that for everyone, but when it does, it's just an amazing product. So
It's so good. I love what we have our hands on, and it just keeps getting better. And I I know Lisa and I were talking earlier today, and I think she was starting to come down with something last week and did a triple patch thing on her face and woke up the next day and was fine, So
yes, yes.
we're all still just amazed by what we have our hands on, and it's just it's an exciting thing. So I just appreciate all the shares tonight. Anybody have any questions or anything to share before we wrap up the call tonight?
Jen, I have one more thing. I hope I'm not driving you crazy. Can you click on your participants icon?
Yeah.
Participants will show up in the right, and you can see a video camera and a microphone. Can you go
Yes.
to Evelyn's microphone and click on it? Will that turn her microphone on or not? From there.
All it's letting me do is ask to unmute. That's all I can do to her.
All right.
So I'm sure that's something that I can in another
Okay. Sorry
time.
about that. All right.
No, that's fine. I appreciate I love that we're trying to figure it out. We've got a lot of grace in this chat, so no worries.
And I think
Quick question.
Yep.
Where do we find, if, that $25 renewal fee, where do we find that? Where is that?
That's a great question. So that's for brand partners that have been in this for a while. I'll have to go
Which
back
is
through.
us? That's us.
That's us. Yeah. We went through it, I know we covered it not this week, but the following week on the call, but when I can go back through that and
Well, I
and
guess because I didn't start until October, so I guess it wouldn't come up until October. And
yeah,
then none of my
Right.
people they would be obviously after me, so I guess I don't have to worry about it. Because I signed up October, my first one after that was
Mhm.
Nina, which was February.
right.
So I shouldn't have to worry about that for a while, I guess, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
Marty, can you speak into that a little bit? Do you know?
Yeah, so because it's rolling out in September this year, whoever
Mm.
signs up from September on, that's who it will affect, or if your anniversary happens to be from September on. So you would be October, right? Terry, is that what you're saying? Yeah, so you would have the option to pay for your annual annual fee on that date, but they're going to send emails 3 times prior, the month prior, to let the brand partner know that it's coming up. And also, when they go into their back office, they'll get a notification and they can pay on the spot. So, and it's $25 plus tax. I found out it's like 26 and change to
Okay.
keep your brand partner and your points and everything for a whole year. It's like, yeah. So.
Yeah, so this is basically just a new thing that we've just instituted in LifeWave. So it's basically like your Sam's Club membership or Costco, where you have to pay your annual fee to continue at that wholesale price. Same for us. So it's just something that they've instituted. So Cynthia, 30 days notice prior. Yeah. So I think as we understand this a little more, if you've just come on recently, this is probably not going to make a lot of sense. But as you are enrolling new brand partners, it's just something that most people are used to that. Any time I've done any of these kind of things and buying wholesale from any company, there's usually that annual fee. So it's low enough. It's $25 plus, like Marty said, tax and some change. So yeah, I'm not 100%. I'll have to kind of look that up a little bit more. I know we went over it, but it's one of those things where you kind
I
of go,
remember now. Yeah, I was jumping ahead of myself.
no, that's fine. Yeah. But I'll tell you the best thing to do with what we got our hands on is go in that back office and get lost a little bit. That's how you figure things out. At least that's how I do. So awesome. All right. Anybody else want to share any questions before we wrap it up?
I have just 2 questions.
Yeah.
If you guys have any testimonials on osteoporosis and also anxiety, because I remember the week of the 23rd, I was off, and there was a lady that was talking about anxiety
Mhm.
and what she goes through,
Mhm.
how she helped herself, but of course with the patches, that was, the next level, I guess.
Eon patch.
Yeah, the
Eon for
Eon
sure.
patch. Yeah, the Eon patch.
Mhm.
So, is there? I don't remember if she's on this call, but I know she was on the call of the week of the 23rd.
Mhm.
I can't remember her name for the life of me, but she talked about her anxiety and like all the exercises that she did. And I know Marty was on that call, and I think you were on the call, Jennifer, if I remember.
Mhm. Mhm. Marty, do you remember who that was? I'm kind of forgetting.
I can't remember her name.
I don't, but there are plenty of testimonies. I'll get something to you.
Okay.
Eon, you mean that for what? Osteo or anxiety?
Anxiety.
Anxiety and
How do you spell that?
inflammation.
How do you spell that?
AEON.
Oh, okay.
AEON.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, we always and as we move forward, a lot of times, the X39, that's the stem cell regeneration patch. So that patch is going to do what all the other patches are also doing. But that Eon patch, that's a good one when you have somebody with something chronic like anxiety. We call the Eon the happy patch, so it works. And then I think we could look for some more things with osteoporosis.
Mhm.
I would imagine something possibly with the X49 with that.
That's right, the X49, yeah,
With the bone.
X49
Yeah.
for the
I know
bone, for the
Cynthia.
bone.
You-
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine X39, X49 because you're dealing with bone stuff. So yeah, we'll work on getting you guys some testimonies off of the call and yeah. But
Yeah,
we love the
no,
questions. I mean, it's
you.
exciting. You know, we've seen a lot of people helped and that's what we're all about. So these are great questions. So yeah,
Thank you,
we
appreciate
love
it.
it. So
Thank you.
awesome. Anybody else have anything before we close it down?
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Terry and Lanka
My
and
pleasure.
Lisa for sharing for Evelyn. And Evelyn, we're gonna have to figure out, is she still on here? We got to figure out the microphone thing so she could come on and we hear her in person next time. So all right, well, y'all, this is our Tuesday night call. This is a call just mainly for our circle and just to come on and share testimonies and tips and you know, just kind of make it a little more of a personal call. But like I said, that Thursday night call this week, anybody that's interested in this patch or the opportunity, get them on that call on Thursday. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you
Thank
guys,
you.
and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks
Thank
thanks
you.
everybody.
Great job, Jen.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.